It was early Saturday morning when everything went wrong. The neighborhood was quiet, the kind of quiet where you can hear the wind brushing through the trees. I was in my backyard workshop, minding my own business, organizing tools and getting ready for the day. That's when I heard footsteps on the gravel behind the building. Deep, heavy steps. Steps that did not belong there. When I stepped outside, I saw two men in reflective vests walking right into my workshop. Their vests said HOA Community Patrol, but anyone could tell they weren't real security. No badges, no ID, no authority. Just two guys acting like they owned the whole neighborhood. They were opening drawers, taking pictures, and writing things down like they were preparing some kind of report. I called out, "Can I help you?" One of them didn't even look at me. He just said, "Routine property inspection. We've had complaints about hazardous items on your lot." Hazardous items? I had paint, tools, and a generator. The same stuff every homeowner has. But the worst part wasn't what they were saying. It was that they were standing on my land. My private land. And this wasn't the first time the HOA tried to claim ownership of it. I took a step forward and said, "You need to leave. You're trespassing." The shorter one turned to me with an annoyed look. "Sir, the HOA has the right to inspect any structure within the community boundaries. You don't get to refuse." I told them my property was legally exempt. The HOA already lost that fight last year. But they ignored me. They kept digging through my things, acting like they had authority they definitely didn't have. And then the tall one said the line that broke my patience completely. "If you don't cooperate, the HOA will fine you every day until you do." That's when I walked into my house, opened my gun safe, and grabbed my shotgun. Not loaded, not cocked. I didn't even point it at anyone. I just held it safely at my side as a warning that this was not their territory. When I stepped back out, both of them froze like statues. Their clipboards fell to the floor. "What are you doing?" one of them shouted. "Protecting my property," I said calmly. "You're trespassing. Leave, now." Instead of leaving, they tried to threaten me. "This is intimidation. We'll report you to the HOA board. You'll be arrested." I didn't argue. I simply pulled out my phone and said, "Good, I'm calling the actual police." And I did. But before they could even get to their truck, police cruisers pulled onto my driveway. Turns out a neighbor had already called 911 after seeing two strange men snooping around my property. The officers separated us, made me set the shotgun down, and asked what was going on. As soon as they checked the patrol's names in their system, everything changed. Neither of them were licensed security. Neither of them had any authorization to enter private property. Neither of them had legal permission to act on behalf of the HOA. They weren't just trespassing. They were impersonating security officers, which is a crime. The officers cuffed both men right there in front of me. They tried shouting about community bylaws, HOA rules, violation codes. Words that mean absolutely nothing in front of actual law enforcement. One of them screamed, "Call the HOA president. She'll fix this." She did not fix anything. Their patrol truck was towed. Their phones were seized, and the officers told me point blank, "You did everything right. They had no business being here." The best part? The HOA president showed up 30 minutes later, furious, trying to tell the officers she had full authority over all properties in the subdivision. The officers told her to step back before she got herself arrested too. That was the day the HOA learned something very important. Private property is private property, and no fake patrol, no fake badge, and no inflated ego changes the law. Ever since that incident, not one single HOA member has stepped foot near my yard again. No more bogus fines, no more threats, no more trespassing. Because the moment their patrol touched my property, they learned that playing security officer is fun until the real police show up. And they showed up just 1 minute too late for those guys.